Hey, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks so much for joining me today. I want to go over this month's Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. This is the card I made. We're featuring the Boughs of Holly suite of products from Stampin' Up! And each month I collaborate with 11 other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and we focus on a suite or colors or something like that, and we each make a card and put it up. It doesn't even have to be a card. It could be a box or a treat box or something like that. And we bundle it up together and create this tutorial bundle. So if you purchase from my online store any amount of money, I will send you the link for this. And again, there's 12 projects in it. These are some of the pictures, pieces of the cards that are in the bundle. And this is my card. And this is what I'm going to make today. I'll show you how to make it. And then we're using the Leaves of Holly stamp set and the coordinating dies and the paper. And this paper is so pretty. It's really very rich. I love this pattern. This is one of my favorites. And then I love the trees. I love trees. So this was one of my first cards I made was using that. So let's get started. I just want to show you this. So each month, again, if you purchase from my online store, you can get this for free. I'll email you the link. And I also sell it if you are a demonstrator and you don't want to make a purchase from me. I understand that. So you can go to my website, pspapercrafts.com, go to tutorials, and you can purchase this for $9.95. These are my teammates. Let me just go through the first page here. So we always pick the color combo that coordinates with the paper. This is the collection. These are the ladies that I work with, and there's some very talented ladies. This is me, and this is my project. So the project will have a picture. It will have the measurements, you know, of all the cardstock and designer series paper, and then we'll have the instructions. Each project, so 12 projects like this. So let us get started to make this card. I'm going to leave that out, put this aside, put this up here, and I have all of my pieces cut. There's a lot of die cutting in my, oop, I look like I missed one of these little, do you ever do that? You're looking and then you notice that there's this little piece in here that I'm going to punch out here. So I'm using Shaded Spruce, which is one of the colors in the designer series paper. And I just layered it with a white piece of cardstock. So this is a normal, normal 4 by 5 1/4. And then this is 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm just going to get some liquid glue and layer these up together. And the back of these, I've seen a lot of people, you know, they're cutting out with the dies, poinsettias, or some people say poinsettia. I'm a poinsettia girl. I'm not sure. It looks like it's spelled the other way, but that's how I grew up. Poinsettia. And then we're going to put this down. And I probably should have cut I have a little strip of gold. Sometimes instead of putting a ribbon down, I'll put gold. And I just had some of these strips laying around, and it's not even a 1/4 of an inch. It's between 1/8 and 1/4. So I have to cut it. I should have cut it before I put that layer down, but I'm just going to eyeball it and wing it. I could measure it, right? It's 5, but I like to live a little dangerously here. So let me just straighten that out and just snip it a little bit more, just a little bit. Okay, hopefully that will do it. All right, perfect. So we're going to put that down as well. And there's some gold in the leaves, so I figured I would add a little bit more gold. And I put red berries on. You could put some gold embellishment if you wanted to instead, some kind of gold gem. I'm just going to lay this right kind of in the center, right across. Okay, and then the dies, I think the dies are pretty cool. It gives you the cutout. So this is like the detailed gold right? And then you can get the open one that fits with your stamped image, or it fills in the background of this. And then there's this little funny piece, and this fills in the background of this. Okay, it actually goes this way. Whoops. So I cut all those pieces out, but see, it just makes it so it's not so busy back there. We put this back on behind it, and it kind of stands out. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to just put some glue on my, I'll call them detailed pieces, and attach them to the background pieces. And I'm just going very lightly. And then I'll put this behind it, and it just gives it a, you know, a solid look, so it's not picking up the pattern of what's behind it. Much better, right? And then we want to take, and we'll do that with these. So let's do that, and then we're going to do our stamping and embossing. I embossed this sentiment. So there's two of these. There's a large one and a small one. And there's a background for each. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just put a little glue, and I like to put it, you know, where there's room and stay away from the really narrow parts. And the glue is strong, so it will hold it in. Okay, and let's get this down on this one. And I like the liquid glue because it gives you a little bit of time to get it in the right place. Okay, and let's do the big one. And then we'll have our pieces ready to assemble. We'll do our sentiment. And I like that the sentiment I did in white on a piece of this shaded spruce cardstock. So it really kind of pops out off the white background layer. And if you get some glue where you don't want it, it dries clear, and you can get a gum eraser if it's bothering you, but usually it's okay. So let's get this. I'm going to put my cap on my glue. We're going to get this little piece, and this is actually one of the dies here. So you get this, which matches the season's greetings and the Christmas wishes. And there's also these berries. Let me just show you that. There's the solid and then the lighter or the detailed, and you also have the two to cut out. So I've seen a lot of people do like a lighter red or a glittery red for the back, for the top detailed. So let's get my embossing little package here. And first I'm going to just go over this. And this is shaded spruce. We'll just go over this a little bit. Put this back in here, and this just keeps your embossing powder where you want it. So it doesn't fly all over and get stuck where you don't want it. And then we're going to use Versamark ink, and I have my stamp all mounted up on my block. And we want to just, of course I have glue on my fingers. I always have glue on my fingers. I think I live with glue on my fingers. And we're just going to go right down here, stamp it down. Now since this is a dark cardstock, you can actually see it. But we're going to brighten it up a little bit by putting white embossing powder on it. And I love this look. And I'm going to take these tweezers because this is a little small. Let me just get this and pick it up. I don't want to touch where I've where I put the ink. There we go. All right, let's try this again. So I'm going to just hold it, pour some powder over it, give it a good flick. Okay, and sometimes I like to go over it a second time just to make sure I've got a good thick coating on it. Okay, and let's put the cap back on this. And I am going to mute this and speed it up while I do my heating. But I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to turn it on for a second, get it warmed up, and then I will heat this. And what will happen is it will melt the embossing powder and it will make it nice and pretty and bright and shiny. Okay, see the difference? It's so pretty. So now we have that done, and we can now assemble our card. So let's get our pieces together and lay them out. And what I'm going to do is put this on here, and I'm going to pop this up and then put the greenery behind it. So we'll just take some liquid glue on here. And just get it nice and centered and straight, even. Okay, that looks good. And then I'll take some dimensionals, and I'm going to leave the dimensionals off this area so that I can put that stuff behind it. So I'll just put dimensionals kind of over here. And you can put those pieces down first and then you don't have to worry about it. But I like to kind of put my sentiment down and then arrange it. I'm going to put one more down here. And if I have trouble, I can just cut off the bottoms of these and stick them in there. Take off the backs. I think this is just so pretty. I love this paper. So I want to come down a little bit because those greenery pieces are kind of big. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. It's a little bit high, so what I'm going to do is just snip this here. Magic, right? And then I can put this down. Nobody will know. And again, you could put this down first before you put the sentiment down. You don't want to go outside the card here. And then we're going to put this down and see how this is going to fit. I'm going to put this off too. There we go. Perfect. You know, and I know, but the receiver of the card won't know, so we're all good. Okay, and then we want to put these little white sprigs in as well. I'm just going to put some glue under here. It just adds, you know, another layer. And I think with the gold and the green, it's very pretty. Boughs of holly, fa la 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 la, right? I can't believe Christmas is going to be here before you know it. So there we go. And then I took some of these. These are red rhinestones. And I actually, this is my my special for November. If you spend $50 on my at my online store, I will send you a pack of these for free. Each month I do a special with, you know, if you purchase, you get something for free. If you do a 50, you can get the tutorial for free with any size purchase. But then I add this in if you do $50, and that's in product before tax and shipping. So here we go. I'm just trying to do like a cluster of 3. So it looks like, you know, the berries. Isn't that pretty? I really love it. This is my kind of card, kind of rustic and Christmassy. And then on the inside, so there's the stamps and Joy Peace. So I am going to do, I think I did Joy and Peace. Yeah, Joy and Peace, and then I put this on the bottom. So I'm going to lay this down just to see. I'm not going to put it down in case I make a mistake with my stamping. And I've already mounted my stamps, and I already see that they're a little crooked. And what I'm going to do is just ink it up and stamp it on a piece of scrap to make sure that it looks lined up good. I mean, they're photopolymer, so I think they looked good, but I always like to check it out, the spacing. Yeah, this joy is a little funny. It's a little crooked. Let's try that. I think it needs to come over a little bit. And you don't have to do them together. You can do them separately. That might even be easier. But I think that's good. Oh, I have the end. I'm glad I practiced. My ampersand or end sign, whatever it's called now. I don't know if they changed the name of that. You know, the pound sign is a hashtag. There we go. I thought it looked funny and I couldn't figure out why. So I'm just leaving this here so I can judge where I want this. And we'll just go right down here. And if I made a mistake, I could turn it over, and I didn't have this strip on it yet. So we're good, you know, we have both sides of the paper. So I'm going to just put this down with Stampin' Seal. Right at the end there. And get this lined up to the corner. And there we go. And then we can put this right in the card, and the card is done. There's some really great projects this month. I didn't play with this. I guess I played with some of the paper right away, but I'm really loving how these pieces layer together and the kind of the deep, rich colors of this. I haven't used shaded spruce in a long time either, so I was happy it was one of the colors in here. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and let me know if you have any questions. You can email me, patty@pspapercrafts.com. You can sign up for my email list. I'm doing a 12 weeks of Christmas, and we just finished week 6. Every Wednesday I send it out, and it's for my email subscribers only. So if you want to get in on that, you can sign up for my email, and you can get that in a link below here or on my blog, pspapercrafts.com. And I will catch you up because I'm showing the prior links each month or each week. All right, thanks so much and have a good week. Bye.